Hello friends, welcome back to this tutorial series of Firebase Realtime Database, and in this tutorial we will be going to see how we can perform insert operation from our Android application to the Firebase database. So let's get started. So we'll first start with creating this project, creating the database. So I'll just click on this create database. It will ask for a location, so you can choose any location you like. Just click on next. And here you have two options, start in lock mode or start in test mode. So for now we can just start in test mode, because in the lock mode you need to provide some set of rules so that not everyone can access this database. So if you start in test mode, then anyone can access your database. So we can just click on this enable, and when this is enabled you will be able to see something like that. So this is the parent node, we can say, but all our nodes will appear here in the structure format. So just now go to our Android Studio and write a code to insert operation. So I am in an empty Android Studio project. Hope you are following the tutorial series, and in the previous video we have set up our project with the real-time database. So now we have added the dependencies, so we can access the Firebase SDK classes. So first thing we'll be doing that, create two edit text here and the submit button to add the record. So I'll just clear this and let me create one edit text here. So to match parent prep content, and let me give an ID. So we'll take two fields here. First one is name and second one is an email. Let's give it a name, et for edit text, et underscore name and et underscore email. Okay, so just we have to constant this, constant top to top of parent and constant top to bottom of name. Okay, so we can just provide a hint here and enter name. Similarly, we can place a hint here as an enter email. We can set a text input type as an text email address, and here input type as a text person name. Okay, the third element we are going to add is a button. So match parent prep content, give it a constant top to bottom of email and give it an ID button add, and give it a text to this button and user. Okay, now our layout is ready and we can just move towards Kotlin file. So here we will be using a data binding in this project, so that is a very little thing we need to do for that. We just need to write here data binding enabled as a true, and we just need to add a Kotlin kept here, and you can just click on sync now. So the project will be synced and it will be able to use the data binding in our project. So this is a completely optional step. This is just for a more accessibility, so that we don't need to write the find view by ID again and again for that. So if you don't want to do this, you can skip this. Yes, our project is indexed now. Let me just close it and just click on alt enter on this convert to data binding layout. Now we can access directly. So we can just write let init var binding colon activity main binding, and we can just initialize it as a binding equal to data binding util dot set content view. This, and yeah, now our data binding is set. Now what we want to do, we want user to insert name and email here, and we just want to add the record to the real-time database once the user clicks on this add user button. So for that we need to set an on-click listener on this button. So binding dot btn add dot set on-click listener, yes. Now let's take the input given from the user in the specific variables name and email. So we can just write binding dot et name dot text dot toString, and you can just duplicate this for the email as well, et email. Yes, now we have name and email. We want this to get added to the database. Now how we can do that? For that we first need to create an instance of the Firebase database reference. So you can just write let init var database reference colon database reference, which is coming from com.google.firebase. You can just select this one, and the dependency is added here. You can see that. Now we can just initialize it here. Database reference equal to Firebase database dot get instance dot get reference. So what is get reference? And it is asking for a path as a string. So path is nothing but just a node. Let's say a node that you need to create. So Firebase is a NoSQL database. So the things are saved as a node and their children. So in the node, what we need to pass? We need to pass any string, and the node will be automatically created if it doesn't exist. So, and if the node already exists, then it will use the same node. So we will just pass here a user because we will be storing the users. So let's say there will be a user, and there will be a children named as user1, user2, and inside each user we have a name and email for every user. So this is how the structure will be like. So when the structure will become ready in the database, I'll be definitely showing you here. So for that we first need to create a data class for that. So just right click on this one, new content class and a data class, and I'll just click on user. U will be capital. So I'll just write 3 fields. First one is a ID, that will be a string, and I'm duplicating this name and email as well. So yes, now we have a class data class user, and we just need to create a object of a user and add that user object directly to the Firebase database. But for creating a user object, we also need this ID. So how to automatically generate this ID so that it will be unique for all the users? So that will be taken care by the Firebase. So for that we just need to write val user ID equal to, we can again use this database reference dot push dot key. So this will give us a unique user ID. So that will be an alphanumeric string. If you hover on this one, this will be a string value, but this will be a nullable string. So and if you hover on this push operation, then what it is saying, create a reference to an auto generated children location. The child key generated client side and incorporates an estimate. I mean, this is a long description they are given, but it is just it will create an entry under this node, and it will automatically generate this key and return us this unique key. So we can use that key to create a user object. So we just need to first find if user ID is not null, and if it is not null, then we can create a user object. So val user equal to user. So first one is a user ID, second one is a name, third one is an email. So our user object is ready. Now we need to push that. We need to database reference dot child. So what this child is again asking for path, so we can just use this user ID as a path, and then we can just click and set value. What happening is here, let's find out. So this is the top node user. In under this entry is getting pushed, so it is getting pushed, and it is generating some kind of unique key, and this key is written as a user ID. So this key is generated under this user node, and now we are using this key as a unique ID, and we have created a user object, and now we are using again this user ID key, and under this key we are setting a value. So what value we will be setting? This user object. So if you can hover on this one, this set value is a type of any, I mean it asks for directly object, so we can pass any type of object here. So set value, so this will set the entry for us. So we can just add on success listener here, so we can so it can let us know if that operation is successful or failed. So if it is successful, we can just write toast this again, user created successfully. Okay, and we can also write add on failure listener. We can use the same toast, and we can write failed to create user. Yes, that's it. And if it is not null, then we can just, if it is null user ID, then we can write sorry, we can like something like this, something went wrong. Okay, so this will do our thing. Now let's run this application on our emulator and see how it works. Wait, before running I forgot to do one thing, that is in our data class, that is user, the Firebase needs a default constructor. This is a parameterized constructor, so it needs a default constructor, otherwise your app will not work, it might crash. So you can just write a constructor here, sorry, it should be in a body constructor, and it should be a this with the default value. So default values we can just write as an empty strings, id, name and email, all this empty. This is compulsory step you need to do. You need to have a empty constructor for Firebase. And yes, now we can try running our application and see how it performs. Yes, now our application has been running. I'll just try writing Ashish test at example.com. okay, now I'll just click on add user. Okay, for some reason it is saying failed to create user. Let me check the logcat, what is happening here. Okay, it is setting here set value at this location is database permission denied. Okay, let us check the Firebase portal, and here we need to check the rules here. Okay, here rules says as read and write both operations are false, so that is the reason we are not able to write to the database. We can just double click on this one and edit as a true. Even though we have made this change at the we have selected the database as a test mode, still sometimes it comes as a false here. So if it comes as false, you need to make sure it's a true read and write operations, and you can just click on publish this, publish change. Now rules are published in the data, we are able to see this, and now this node is pointing to the null. So after this will point to the user, and user will point to a specific user details. So just go again Android Studio and just try creating user again, add user, and yes, now we are getting that user created successfully. And if you just now take a look here, you are able to see the users here. Now this node is pointing to these users. If we expand this one, now user contains this unique ID. So if we expand this, then we have three fields, this unique ID, name and email. So this is how you can insert your data in your Firebase DB. And this happen as soon as you make the entry, make or delete the entry. It will, you don't need to refresh the page. I just want to show you something related to that. Let me pop this out from window. Yes, now I'll be able to better show you. And this browser, I will do like this. Okay, fine. So this is our database, and I'll now make another entry here. So let's make a test1, and here test1 and example.1. As soon as I'll click on add user here, you just notice here the second entry will be created without refreshing. I'll just click on add user, right? You are getting a green background here, and the second entry is created, and you get a success message here itself. So that's why this is a real-time database. So in the second entry, if you expand this one, you can see the details which you have entered. So this is how we can perform insert operation in our Firebase Realtime DB. One thing before we close this video, so we have made the rules as a public, read true and write as a true. So this means if a user has your these IDs, then anyone in the world can read and write to your data. So that's why your warning is saying that your security rules are defined as public, so anyone can steal, modify or delete data in your database. So you need to protect your data with some kind of rules, with some kind of authentication or something like that. So you need to define the rules here. We have just done this both true for our demonstration purposes, but for more specific things you need to apply specific security rules. So make sure that you understand that well.